ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲಿನ एक्सप्रेस परवर्ती स्टेशन नेताजी भवन
Hello and welcome. You're watching Voltas FreshAir Coolers presents Cricbuzz Live. And I tell you what, I need some of that Voltas FreshAir on my face right now because the last 3 or 4 overs, I think I was asleep. I think everyone was asleep. The game was definitely asleep because Gujarat had sealed it. Gujarat had sealed it a little while ago. I think they just had to cross the T's and dot the I's. And you can tell by the fact that they have won by 58 runs. That is a humongous margin. If it was Test cricket, you'd say they won by an innings and 200. Like, that's how big the margin is. 159 all out were Rajasthan after Gujarat. Put into bat, scored 217. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me, mildly awake, Harsha Bhogle. Slightly awake, Simon Doull. Wake up, gents. Wake up, gents. It's over. The game's over. I just want to tell you that in the last 1 hour, Harsha has said the word Mahmudullah about...
This was a Mahmudullah game.
about 46 times.
By the way, before we get into the Mahmudullah game, this is the only channel on which an anchor will be allowed to say in the opening piece to camera that I think I was asleep for the last 4 overs.
But that's right. Cricbuzz is the only place where we tell you the truth, man. We tell you the truth, brothers and sisters.
I actually checked out the Mahmudullah game.
You had so much time, you watched the whole game again.
382 all out, 100 for 6. They dragged it till the end.
This is the World Cup 2023.
23 against South Africa.
Yes, so a bit like that today, where it was dragged out. They were never really in the chase, were they? Were they? They weren't. You lose your early wickets.
Early wickets is what we said, isn't it? As soon as you lose early wickets, chasing a good size total, you're under the pump. And they were under pressure from early on. Some terrific bowling. I mean, you know, we talk about the batting lineup and the middle order, and we're not sure, but the bowling performance again, just outstanding. And you know, I know Rashid picked up a couple of wickets tonight. The run rate decent, you'd say, in the power play. But the 2 wickets were the key, and another 2 wickets in 7 to 10, another 2 in 11 to 15. So by the time you're needing 12, 13, 14 and over, you're 6 down.
Yeah,
a game is done.
Yeah, it's done. I think it was fantastic because what they did in the power play, the way they got the wickets, let's just start with Jaiswal, because the Jaiswal wicket was a well thought out strategic wicket, wasn't it?
When a ball goes straight to the field, didn't have to move an inch, straight there, wide ball, big slash, you've got to believe there was a plan there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it comes off, sometimes it doesn't, but clearly there was a plan laid out over there.
Yeah.
So that one credit to the bowling side. I think the bigger credit is the rejuvenation of Siraj. Again, today, 4 overs, 1 for 30. And a player I've always had a lot of time for, but I despaired at his economy rates. Every year going 9, 9.5, 9.5. Today again, 3 for 24, Prasidh Krishna.
Yep.
So it seems to be, to me, a franchise where you go and rediscover your bowling.
Excuse me. Yep.
Because you've got all these guys. Look, even Arshad Khan, been around for a while, he gives you a wicket in the first spell.
Yep.
This, to my mind, was as perfect a game as you can get. If at the start of the game you say, what would my perfect game be?
Yeah, this would be it.
Inevitably, one of the top 3 are getting a big enough score to hold the innings together.
Yeah.
Middle got tested a little bit and middle came through.
Yep.
Today.
72 of 36, just to tell people in case they missed it. 72 of 36, if you combine the scores of Rashid Khan, Tewati and Shah Rukh Khan.
And Shah Rukh Khan. Yeah. The bowling delivered yet again. And who was the one bowler that you were slightly worried about was Rashid Khan. He comes and picks up 2 wickets. You've ticked every single box that you would want to have ticked in this game.
Yeah, absolutely have. I mean, this is one of those perfect scores. You stay in a hotel where everything is great. You give everything a 5, right? It's that kind of game. If Gujarat were asked to give feedback on this game, they'd probably tick the excellent on every box.
But just to come back to what we discussed in the mid-game show, we had said, I think Dooley might have said, if it is 55 for no loss, you've still got a chance of chasing 210.
Yeah.
But if you're 60 odd for 2 or 3, you've got no chance of chasing it.
And that's what happened. They lost their third wicket at 6.4, so just outside the power play.
It's like the kids who come out to play football and the first 5 minutes all the air goes out of the ball.
Yeah.
And you sit there, you're kicking a flat ball.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that.
They still kick it with enthusiasm. A little more enthusiasm than Mahmudullah. Right? They're still, the kids kicking around. We're not, it's no disrespect to him. We're just using that as a template. It's a bit like what we said, he's going to tivatia it.
Yeah.
Right? That's how that became a verb. Right?
To do a tevatia, yeah.
Yeah, to do a tevatia.
He did a tevatia today almost. I mean, he played a decent role.
Yeah, he played a decent role today. We look at that bowling lineup, right? Because we talk about them being a bowling side, they have a bowling head coach, and you see everybody's bowling performance. And this is what I call in the Hindi show, Kaddu katega, sab mein batega. Which means that everybody gets a slice of pumpkin.
Everybody gets a
It's
slice.
like the pizzas that he orders.
Everybody gets a slice.
Harsha gets 4.
Yeah, it's a bit like
a veg pizza. It's okay, folks. It's okay.
It's okay.
We had a lot of meat.
Can I tell you something?
You had the veg.
A pizza is one thing which I think is meant to be vegetarian. So I'll give them that.
Fair enough.
I think it is. Yeah, peasant Italian food. But there you go. Everyone is pitched in.
Order a kaddu something today?
I did as well, a pumpkin
there you go.
curry. A pumpkin
We ordered
curry.
a good bowling performance.
The producer saying, I've given my anchor and the two guests the bowling lineup and they're talking about pumpkins.
Pumpkin and pizza.
Yeah.
Pumpkin, Prasidh.
Yeah.
3 for 24. He's been brilliant. And good pace too. I'm really impressed with his pace at the moment. 146, 147, I think, was his quickest ball tonight. He's got those slower balls working, which we've seen in previous games. When he's had to bowl in the middle or at the back end, he's able to take pace off. Used the short ball really well today. And he just looks like he's, I don't say rediscovered, but he's found a little bit of something in his action. It doesn't mean that it'll happen every game for him, but there's a couple of guys, and Siraj is another one, and Harsh has already mentioned it. He just looks like he's well rested and really firing and getting the ball through to the keeper nicely. Was a bit wayward up front with the new ball, just swinging it around a bit too much and bowled some wides. But, a couple of very high-quality Indian paces there. You throw Ashad in, who you talked about with that early wicket, and leaving Sai Kishore till right towards the end because they didn't want to bowl him to the two left-handers at the crease, and he still picks up a couple of wickets and should have had 1 wicket and should have had Hetmeyer as well.
Also didn't need to. See, this is the luxury they have when you have 6 bowlers.
Exactly.
Right? You don't need to bowl him till... So let's talk about outthinking the batters, right? I mean, even with Prasidh Krishna today, I think all his wickets have been on short balls.
And he bowls that ball very well. That's his natural length. I mean, I remember talking to Jasprit Bumrah once about Prasidh Krishna, and he said he'll just have to discover what his right length is. Because with his height and length, his length is always further back from my length.
Yeah.
So he'll have to discover what his length is to be able to get wickets consistently. And just as that last wicket was falling, I was asking Dooley, how can you look at a bowler and tell bowler's looking good? He's in rhythm. Something's right about him.
Nice.
And we were just discussing that. We went on, so maybe you can continue.
Yeah, look, I mean, you look at the run-up, you look at guys that get to the crease, and did a little piece before today, and you'll see it on Cricbuzz, the app, at some stage over the next couple of days, about Josh Hazlewood. It's an easy run to the crease.
Yes.
It's a beautiful, flowing, easy run to the crease. So that's the first thing for me. If a bowler's not struggling to get to the crease, both Siraj and Prasidh tonight looked like it was easy.
Yeah.
They were cruising to the crease. All about delivery, whatever position you get in, make sure it's a strong position, whether you're a little bit open, a little bit side on, I don't mind. There's no right nor wrong in that. We've had some great bowlers who've done both. And then getting through the crease. Head position is a massive one for me. Any head that's over this way, your head weighs a lot more than most other parts of your body. So if your head's going this way, your body's going this way.
Yeah.
I watched Siraj and Prasidh tonight. Head towards the keeper. And that then develops into a follow-through. Your follow-through is then down just off the danger area and just down the side of the wicket.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is when you are in... It just looks good. You watch where a quick bowler follows through, not when he's bowled a good ball that's taken a wicket or a ball that's beaten the bat. Watch where he follows through when he's bowled a ball that's gone for a couple of runs or maybe been worked away for 4. If he's still got that follow-through another 3, 4, 5 yards down the pitch and their head's going towards the keeper... You can just see they're in a bit of rhythm.
You're almost floating then, right? I mean, that's the run-up. And
Yep.
that actually gets me back to, we started the show with the Muhammad Ali reference, and I'll say it again, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Yeah.
Right? And that's exactly what Prasidh, Siraj have been doing.
Yeah, it's those days when you feel like you're not having to try.
Yeah.
And batters feel it. They get into what they call the zone.
Yeah.
Where everything just seems to, they see it just a little better than they saw it yesterday or last week. And they find the middle of the bat. And from a bowling point of view, you just feel like you're not having to exert too much effort and put your body through too much strain because it's just flowing.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah, you know, many years ago, working with Mikey Holding, and I was asking about bowling fast. And he said, it's funny, the days I wasn't trying to bowl fast, I surprised myself with my pace because I was just in rhythm. And he said in his accent, and I'm not going to mimic his accent, he said, but fast bowling is all about rhythm.
Yeah.
He said, when my rhythm is going, I used to surprise myself with how quickly the ball was coming out.
Yeah.
Cool runnings.
Yeah.
Cool runnings.
Feel the rhythm.
I love it. Cool runnings. That's a good film.
Great
as well.
movie.
These two guys just sometimes talk in their own language.
You must have seen Cool Runnings.
You have to. It's a bobsledding film.
Look,
The
obviously,
Jamaican bobsled team.
look, obviously I haven't when I said you two guys talk, and now you want to rub it in, right?
I just want to
come
tell
on.
people, we'll just take just a second to tell you, it's the Jamaican bobsled team, and it's a great film. It's Cool Runnings. You're going to see it.
John Candy, who passed away, obviously,
Yes.
great actor, John Candy. You've got to get your head out of books, man.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got to watch more movies.
Yeah, you really are. You're enough a good student, man. Bunk a class or two, go watch a movie.
Here I am making an honest statement, and the two of them turn around on me. These two sometimes speak in their own language, so I just sort of pretend to be around, and they just keep going.
Brilliant.
All right, well, it's they were talking their own language today, the Gujarat bowlers, and the Rajasthan batters could not understand a word of it. They really could not.
I was like that.
Maybe. But when you look down that batting order, you'd have to think that they definitely could have done a little better than they've done today, right? There were opportunities. Now, when you think of the way, let's start with Riyan Parag. Yeah, Jaiswal just got out early. Sanju Samson stuck around. Nitish Rana, again, got out-thunk, so to speak, right? Good catch by Kechrolia, again, straight in. I'm just thinking of Riyan Parag. Couple of those sixes that he hit, right? Those no-look semi-helicopters that he hit. Those were some high balls. He looked like he was connecting it well. So I was a tad disappointed that he didn't stick around and go later.
Yeah, look, it's an innings that got off to a promising start. And we talked highly of him last year when he's getting those 50s and 60s and actually batting a good length of time, a good period of time, and Rajasthan were winning some of those games. But that was a situation where he was off to a great start, assess how things are going. He hits the ball as cleanly as most, to be honest. It's just about anyone. When he plays that one through mid-wicket or long on, he hits it as cleanly as anyone. But it was a time for him to just make sure he was putting the bad ball away. You know, ones and twos are still an option, and rebuild. You know you've got... I mean, look at Hetmeyer's innings. Now, if he's asked to do that when there's 80 required, he's a chance.
Yeah.
He's a chance to do that when there's 80 required. But if you just keep losing wickets, it becomes almost too tough for Shimron to do anything.
Yeah.
So that's probably the issue.
Just a thought as I get my head out of my books.
Yeah.
When Parag got all those runs, was he coming in on the back of a good start last year? That's something I want to check out. And this time, because they're not getting the starts, is he almost coming in too early for his for his most basic skill set? And Shimron Hetmeyer gets balls to play. He gives you 52 of 32 balls.
Yeah.
Give him enough time to play. Rinku Singh, Shimron Hetmeyer, just get typed as finishers. Keep going down and down. No, push them up.
Yeah, true, fair point. And I get what you're saying about Riyan Parag as well. But you could perhaps use that as an excuse for a player who's a little less experienced. Yeah. With that kind of experience, you know if you're batting at number 4, we always say, you could come in at 12 for 2, you could be coming in at 112 for 2.
And that's his test. Can he win a game coming in at 12 for 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
And every batter will face that situation, and that situation is the making of the batter.
True.
When you come into that situation and win a game from there, that's the making of you.
Yeah.
As Saurav Ganguly used to tell me, when number 7 comes in to bat, when there's 120 runs to win and wins you the game, that is when I will accept that your number 7 is a batter.
Good point.
So similarly, if you come in at 12 for 2, that's the making of you as a batter.
Yeah, fair enough. But, well, today it was just... it was a few miles too far for Rajasthan because Gujarat just batted so well. And Gujarat batted so well because they played it to their template. They had one of their top 3 stick around and play the long innings. And, well, actually, I don't even need to tell you who because he's just become Mr. Consistent this season for Gujarat. And that's why he's our coolest performer, powered by Voltas FreshAir coolers, powerful air throw, ultimate comfort. talking about Sai Sudharsan, he's number 2 in the orange cap list now, right? He's got 273 runs, so 15 runs behind Nicholas Pooran. The good thing is, none of it, a lot of the others have come, there's a big 100, there's a big something. He's just consistently done it. This is like, what, 4 half centuries? One of them's a 49.
A 49,
Yeah.
3 half centuries and a 5.
Yeah.
So he's had 1 failure in the tournament so far. It's been superb. There's a shot from today that will be one of the top 5 shots of the tournament. When he ran down the pitch to the left armour and sort of stopped and just ramped it over third.
Wasn't there also when he cut a slice of an apple?
The bacon, you got the bacon slicer out, or the apple slice,
Yeah.
And hit one over backward point as well. But when you're running down the wicket and you're looking to go, and then he's waited and just dinked it over third for 6. I was like, that's time, that's quality of Farooqi.
Yeah.
It was just, look, he's so nice to watch. Elegant, and I don't know why, but left-handers always just look a little more elegant.
Yeah.
Than right-handers, I think. Maybe, I think going back in time, there wasn't as many of them as there are nowadays. So maybe they used to look more elegant, so we just carry that on.
Yeah.
But he is an elegant-looking player.
And
Something about left-handers, man.
true.
All my, whatever little cricket I played, I used to wish, why wasn't I a left-hander? Just, But, you look at all those people on top of the strike rate list, on top of the run-getter list. You think of Mitch Marsh, who's on top of close to the top, and you think, right, power, I know where he gets his runs.
True.
You think of Nicholas Pooran, I know, is it 24 sixes? I know where he gets his runs. It's just Sai Sudharsan. Where does he get his runs?
Yeah.
Is there one area he gets his runs? I don't know. If I close my eyes, think Sai Sudharsan, I can't define him one way. No.
True.
Which is actually, I think, a benefit.
Of course.
That in spite of that, he's still getting you runs consistently.
Yeah. Pretty much hits it everywhere. And just the consistency he's giving, and the fact that Shubi's obviously not having the kind of season, right? This season, he's had the seasons, past, a 400 plus, 450 season last, that famous 800 season. 890 was it? Was it close to?
Yeah, 23.
Yeah, that was his 23 season.
890 was Virat, which... If
890 was Virat, sorry.
If anyone gets those again, then you just want to stop what you're seeing and watch them.
Yeah, 890 was a Virat season. He had, what was his 23
820.
season?
820.
820 was his
He got
season.
in the playoffs 129 of 60 balls against Mumbai Indians.
There you
You're
go.
doing that game.
Yeah.
And I think I might have referred, we were all doing, just putting our jaw back up.
Goes back up. But he's not getting the runs this season, not as many. Then you have Jaiswal.
Not as many is a good word. He's got some,
not
but
as many. Yeah. When you look at Shubman, you're looking at him captaining GT, you're like, all right, buddy, 500 600 runs
season,
from
yeah,
you.
yep.
No pressure, but that's what we expect from you because of your reputation and your talent. Then you're looking at Jos Buttler, who's coming off, not such good days. Not a chedin for him, right, in the last 12 months. So that means that Sai Sudharshan's role has become even more important. And he's putting his hand up.
In fact, one of the reasons I didn't have GT in my list of 4 teams that would make the playoffs was exactly this. Said if the top 3 for some reason don't come good, then there isn't the depth to take them through the tournament. But what's happening as we see at this stage of the tournament, one of the top 3 in every game is batting deep. And so is setting it up for little contributions from everybody else. Even the other day when they were 16 for 2, out of the blue, it's like this actor who hasn't got a movie for many months, just comes in, plays a great part. Yeah. Washington Sundar comes, hits a 50, goes back.
Yeah.
They're finding players for the occasion, but even with what seems on paper to be a thin batting lineup, they're still getting all the runs.
And if you look at it from a point of view across the whole season, let's say Shubman or Sai Sudharsan or Buttler don't have a 550, 600 run season. If they all have 450 runs,
Correct.
Yeah, they win.
They keep winning.
Yeah.
Because at some stage in every game, one of them will do the job.
True.
And it might not be, Shubman's start to the tournament that he would have wished for. He might have the back end of the tournament.
Yeah.
Buttler might have a middle of the... You don't know, but if your top 3 all get in excess of 400, I would say that sets you up very, very well for a good tournament.
It's their trophy-winning season where, if you remember, in their first 7 or 8 wins, there was a different player of the match in every win.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the secret to T20 cricket, right? The same guy is not going to win you.
The first 3 wins,
6
3
games.
different bowlers. First 3 wins, 3 different bowlers were player of the match, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but anyway, Sai Sudharsan, right? We were talking about him and his batting, just the way he's milking it. He plays risk-free cricket, and that's what I like about him, right? Because the amount of confidence it gives the guy on the other end.
Yeah, that's a big thing for him, I think. And the left-handed nature of what he brings, it means the bowlers can get put off a touch at times. You've got to get used to bowling to a left-right combination. He just, as I say, he works the ball all around the ground. I think Harsha's point's a good one, where you don't look at him and say, he's an offside player.
Yeah.
Or he plays a short ball or a front foot player. He actually does score all around the ground, off pace and spin. So, great start to the season. For him.
This segment is the cool segment. And since you mentioned the word cool, he looks cool on the field. And for precisely that reason, I quickly went and checked up his first-class record. Because there's something about his demeanour that suggests he could be a red ball player. And it sort of hurt me a little that his first-class average is 39.
Yeah.
I think he's a 45, 48 first-class average player. So maybe if he develops that game, he could be a red ball player too, simply because of his temperament. A couple of years ago, I thought that about Ruturaj Gaikwad. He's calm, could be a red ball player. He gives me that impression, just because he's cool.
Yeah, he is cool, and that's why Sai Sudharsan is our coolest performer, powered by Voltas FreshAir coolers, powerful air throw, ultimate comfort. Well, I tell you, who's feeling comfortable right now? It's GT, where they're sitting on the points table, right? Because you got to be comfortable when you're top of the table. Yeah, it's not a bad place to be. They've played 5 games, they've won 4, and that net run rate looks nice and healthy. Looks well fed.
Yeah, very healthy. And now Rajasthan are sort of well ensconced in the bottom half, having played 5 and just above Mumbai, Chennai and Hyderabad. So it makes it tougher from there to, they've got to go on a run. They have to get on a streak now of winning 4 or 5 games out of their next 6, 7.
Yep.
They do have a run coming up in Jaipur, don't they? I think, Harsha, we talked about that earlier.
I mean, they haven't played a single game in Jaipur so
Correct.
far.
Yeah.
So their future in this tournament will be determined by how well they play those 5 games in Jaipur.
Well, so that's how it is. Gujarat has ended top of the table today. So, they're there. They're pretty happy. We've got 2 teams playing tomorrow that are also pretty happy because they are doing well. They're near the top of the table. So that's Bangalore and Delhi, and this game
Need to find ways of winning at home. So it's, from their point of view, most games are must-win games, but this is a game they'd really want to win.
Yeah, because, you have a party at home and then somehow you don't invite yourself. That's what's happening with Bangalore and Chinnaswamy. So they'll want to change that. Will they change personnel? Doesn't look like.
I don't think so. I mean, both sides have played very well at the start of the tournament. There's no need to change anything if your team was good enough to get things going at the start. They've had great contributions from Patidar, from Virat, of course, Chitesh, different times. DDP, Tim David with a couple of cracking innings at the back end. Livingston, Krunal's played well, so there's no reason to change what they've done. I don't think.
The only person he's done well with the ball, not quite got the runs you want from his Livingston. But what do you do? Do you play Bethel for Livingston and try and get a spinner, or do you just say no, we're winning all right,
Yeah.
So why change something that's winning?
I think that's the point. They'll look at it and say, if we weren't winning, it might be a reason to change, but I don't see a reason to change it.
Do you bowl the leggy in Chinnaswamy? Does Suyash bowl? I mean, leggies have been successful. Chahal has been very successful. In a smaller ground, do you want to back a leg spinner or do you want to back a guy who bowls at 135, 140 but comes on nicely to the bat?
He's a very different type of leggy, isn't he, Suyash? He's very quick. He doesn't
point about the head, his head really falls away.
He falls away a lot.
His head falls away
a lot.
to mid-off.
but he's very quick and sort of into that leg stump region. He's not a floater. And as soon as you get floaty at Chinnaswamy, you just get banged down the ground.
Yeah.
It's so short. Ball flies a little bit further, obviously. So you can't afford to get floaty. And he's not a floaty type bowler. I still think he's probably got a part to play there.
Okay, cool. Let's have a look at the Delhi team now and see if they'd make any changes. I don't think they need to as well, no?
Well, slight question mark over Fraser McGurk. But if any player of the style of Fraser McGurk wants to bat, he wants to bat at the Chinnaswamy.
Yeah. I was just saying, Faf in the last game, Faf didn't play because of, was it illness?
Yeah.
Injury, right? There was injury. So do we know whether he's back? Let me just ask the team. So not back yet. So that doesn't happen. There's no change there. Otherwise, again.
Did you say he's not ready yet?
No, he won't play tomorrow. No update.
No update. So whatever. I don't know how bad it was.
Actually, this is happening a lot, right? Teams are not giving updates, so you just have to kind of wait.
But he
And
plays a huge part in that team, man. Faf plays a big part in that team. So suddenly Faf is not there. We saw there was Abhishek Porel, Tristan Stubbs. Then suddenly you're looking at Vipraj and Ashutosh. Faf just makes a big difference there.
fair enough, their bowling's pretty top, right?
If Joy was here, he'd say Faf is the player to watch tomorrow.
Yeah. And then you'd know that Joy is not, that Faf is not playing because Joy gets that wrong all the time. Player to watch out for from Delhi?
From Delhi, well, I'll go with my purple cap choice for the season, which was Kuldeep.
Okay.
Small stadium, I know, but he's got the skill and the wherewithal to deal with that, I think, and the experience. So
Okay.
I'll go with Kuldeep.
For you?
The Bangalore batting is so powerful that you need to get into it quickly. So I'm going with Mitch Stark.
Interesting. All right. And the other team? Bangalore, who are you picking?
I just think it's going to come down to the power play in Hazelwood.
Okay.
Look, if he continues to do what he's been doing through the tournament, economy rate of under 5 in the power play, 4.67 I think it is, with the ball in the power play, phenomenal, and taking wickets. If he can knock the top off that order, they'll be in all sorts of trouble.
Can we have the same?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Because I think the way to beat Delhi is to get into them very early, knock over a couple of wickets early.
Yeah.
And Hazelwood is lifting that Bangalore side. Quietly, the first couple of games, they won 3 for 20, 2 for 20, just lifting that side.
I tell you how things change. This is amazing, right? The game's happening at Chinnaswamy and you both have picked bowlers.
Because it's the bowlers who'll change the game.
Yeah,
The batters
yeah.
are expected
Absolutely.
to
Batters are
get runs.
expected to get runs.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Can they do it or do they get carted for 55 and 4? That's the game that's happening tomorrow. Let's give you the joy factor question and answer. It was a tough one.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Was it Player of the Match awards?
Was it He made us. Today, Joy's question was Gujarat Titans, and we all felt like Rajasthan Royals.
Okay.
That's what's happened. Dwayne Bravo has achieved this 10 times. Sunil Narayan 7 times. What is this list, and who leads it with 11 such instances? What is it? What it is? What it is? What it is?
I don't know, I thought Player of the Match or something like that.
Just show us the answer. I don't know why you would trouble us. Caught and bowled Harbhajan Singh.
So they caught and bowled Harbhajan Singh 10 times.
I think Bravo had 10 cotton balls. Sunil Narayan had 7 cotton balls.
Sorry, now I get it.
Harbhajan Singh has the most cotton balls.
I said, how did Bravo get Harbhajan out caught and bowled 10 times?
Can you imagine?
That is some effort, that.
So can you imagine Harbhajan Singh is cotton ball Bravo 10 times, cotton ball
Narayan 7 times.
Sunil Narayan 7 times.
He's chipping it back to the bowler often, isn't he?
Let me tell you what we're talking about. Harbhajan Singh has 11 cotton balls. Not only Sunil Narayan. Miscellaneous players. His career has got 11. Dwayne Bravo has 10 cotton balls and Sunil Narayan has 7
I think you might have mentioned that.
cotton balls.
Did you mention that?
No, I thought Player of the Match is...
No, I think he said I think you said something about bowling and batting, like some runs and some.
Anyway.
Could be, I think Dooley
Yeah.
because...
You said something about maidens.
Yeah,
runs and
maidens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Was not to be. Let's have a look at who got the correct answer. Who was the person? First winner? Harjas.
I think that is
Harbhajan Singh. Who has answered the question himself.
मेरा एक record है अभी.
And I guarantee you if I call Bhaji right now,
He won't know.
he doesn't know that he has this record. You can probably call and check. Okay, well, we've had a good day with the guessing game. Usually, you know that we are rubbish, absolute rubbish in this game. We've had days where we've not got one right. Today, all 3 got both guesses right. Which means, oh no, you didn't.
Oh,
get
no, I missed the second one.
So all 3 of us got one guess right.
Yep. And you two both got your
We got who stormed
second guess.
up the right side.
So Harsha Bhogle has opened his account.
You
and
know,
gone-
That's a big leap too, Harsh. That's a good leap.
I missed a bullseye by 1 run and by 2 runs.
Is that 2 bullseyes by mine and my eyes are going? Can you tell me, Harsh, please?
You see that little circle there? Just on the outside of that circle, you'll see 2 arrows there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Look, when you've got 37.5, you can afford to look down on people who've got 12.5. But how do you know the joy that being a 12.5
brings.
I'm just saying I want to send that paper for evaluation because 12.5 is not it's not working. That means that you have
What?
That means you've got 2 correct out of 8. Have you only been here for 4 days?
You know, there is something called the essential kindness of the human spirit.
I'm just saying.
When someone's on an absolute high,
Yeah, that's when you poke them.
so if someone's got 10% in mathematics all his life and suddenly gets 32, that's a huge deal.
I'm just saying this. You've been here more than 4 days, haven't you? So far?
I'm running a 10,000 meter race. I'm letting all of you tire yourself out.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm gonna have.
Look, I win one day and look at these two.
I'm just happy that you got off the mark. I'm happy you got off the mark and you got 2 correct today. So we gotta give you. But I will be auditing the numbers later.
But, you know, we used to have this legendary hockey commentator called Jasdev Singh.
Yeah.
And we used to listen on the radio. And he would say, right in the left in the right in the centre forward. Lekin, top of the team mein ball chin gaya. You are like that.
Yeah.
Oh, the thing, but.
Mr. Bhogle has done so well today. He's gotten off the mark. He's got 2 correct. He almost got 2 bullseyes. Lekin. All right, that's all we have time for on Voltas FreshAir Coolers presents Cricbuzz Live. We've got the big game tomorrow. Bangalore playing Delhi. So do join us at 7 p.m. on Cricbuzz Live. We'll see you then. Big thank you to Harsha Bhogle and Simon Doull. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Yours.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the laughs and all the fun and all the insights and all the entertainment and all the camaraderie and all the brotherhood and all the food. I'm Gaurav Kapur. Good night.
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲಿನ Hyderabad Gujarat Express, Yashasvi Station, Netaji Obot.